I'm McCall Clark, and I'm playing Rixavir, who is a cleric.
My name is Samantha Holt. I'm playing Saoirse Ashwood, and she is a paladin.
My name is Matt Wilson. I'm playing Magnus Fisker.
I'm Josh Kitchens, and I'm playing Brothy Fisker.
He is a human wizard and academic.
Who's a warlock human.
I'm Cameron Holt, and I am the wind in the trees, and the ocean on the shore, and the birds in the sky. I'm the game master, and I play everyone and everything that's not the player characters. We built characters from the child up.
We built characters from the ground up.
We started with kind of an idea for what we wanted to play, more of an outline.
So as we were playing through their childhoods and their development is how we were rolling the dice and finding out whether or not we were good at things.
We started with 2 full stats, fully rolled. The other 4 stats only had 2d6 rolled into them. And then as we went and hit certain story beats during the prologue, we would stop and kind of think collectively about what had happened to the characters during that time, and we would pick a stat to finish rolling.
Slowly gaining different abilities and scores as time progressed.
As the narrative progressed, as we were children, building up our relationships between everyone and having our own little children's adventure.
This let us kind of grow into our characters organically over time, and it kind of mirrored how kids actually grow into adults in a way that you can't always predict where they'll end up from where they started.
My favorite part of building characters this way is it really gave us an organic way to introduce the different abilities and class things, and even have a lot of different surprises for each other that we found out along the way.
So it was stressful. Building characters was stressful.
You get so connected to your actual character. Like, I've played characters before that I've loved, but with this campaign, I feel like I get to actually embody the character. The connection is so much deeper.
You got to be a part of them unfolding, and they became less of characters on a page and a grouping of numbers and more of a set of experiences.
So this let us have a background that was a lot more tangible than just like some notes on a character sheet that you'd get out of the player's handbook or whatever.
You get so much more invested in the characters because it's not just like you've written a backstory, it's like you get to live the backstory. Like, how often have you made a D&D character and played through their childhood? I think it was really special.
And it's just so much more fun to play it that way.
What I really liked about the group world building we did is I think we came to a lot of conclusions we wouldn't have if we weren't all together. Even the idea for the campaign came out of us riffing around and adding different things.
It is so collaborative, and it's just this thing that we've built together as friends.
Both during the preparation and during the actual sessions, we all got to contribute a lot of ideas.
So special. Like, this belongs to all of us.
Normally as the DM, it's like, I've created this big sandbox, now play in it. But in this way, it was like, okay, I built the sandbox, but you guys build some of the sandcastles and we'll play in them together.
The worlds that Cameron makes are always fun to play in, and he always gives us a sense of ownership over a space or something that we've written into the backstory. But when you have more of a stake in it, you are more likely to invest in it.
One thing you're going to see a lot is that when Cameron introduces something new, some new element, he'll introduce like a shell of it and then have one of us fill in a couple of details, which I think really kind of lets us have a sense of creative control as a group over the whole world, which is really nice.
It's a place that feels so magical and so lived in, and like we can actually visualize it in our minds and interact with it in a way on a much deeper level than any other campaign.
What I resonate with Magnus is that I really love to learn new things and figure out how things work. But Magnus is obsessed with that, especially with magic.
So the thing about Brothy that I feel like I resonate the most with is I think he feels responsible for all the people around him more than he cares about keeping himself safe. He wants to keep other people safe. Or if something happens to someone, I think he will, take that personally.
I resonate with Erixavir and their feral, weird little guy nature, even though they're like 7 foot. Still weird little guy energy.
Saoirse is a character who is trying to find love for herself through other people. Something that I've definitely been through and experienced. It's trying to find acceptance for the things that you don't love about yourself by trying to make somebody else love them.
What makes it especially exciting is that magic is just being rediscovered by everybody, which lets Magnus be on the cutting edge of research at all times, which for him makes it like an adventure within an adventure.
And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's something that I feel really close to her through.
I am so looking forward to figuring out what's going on in this world.
There's so much buried and forgotten, and it's just waiting to be rediscovered, whether that's for better or worse.
There's so much love already in this campaign that I'm looking forward to those gut-wrenching moments, and I'm also not.
There is so much mystery, and there's just been all these like little hints that have been seeded, and we're just kind of collecting all of these parts that I'm so excited to see the payoff for.
What I'm most looking forward to in this campaign is really seeing like where the characters go as they bond more. Like they spend a lot of time together as kids, but now that they're kind of finding each other again, getting back into being friends, like what their different interactions will be like.
The weird thing about this game is that I know how D&D works, but the way that we've approached the story, it feels like I don't anymore. So anything that somebody like, oh, I can do this now is like, what? I've never heard of that before.
There are so many scenes that the audience is going to go crazy over, because it's just, it's so rich. It's so full of good ones.
I think viewers will probably get a kick out of some of the imperfections in the spell magic that Magnus uses. Magic is so new that it really needs a lot of polish still.
I think the audience will love any interaction we've had with Granny Brenya. She is by far my favorite character.
One of my favorites so far is connecting with this old world creature that we took a big gamble and it paid off. And we were introduced to a character that I think the audience is gonna go crazy over.
There's a pivotal moment in the prologue where everything changes in basically the blink of an eye, or the headbutt of an eye, you could say, that I'm very excited and I think the audience is gonna really like.
Before we even get into the adventure of it all, is our last night as kids.
I think people will really like this campaign because it's not your traditional adventurers meet in a tavern and instantly given a quest. It feels a lot more organic. Get to see the way all of these classes build up from nothing into, being hopefully one day powerful.
Watch this show, it's really good. Why? Why is it good, or why should they watch it? I think I answered that question. Watch the show. It's really good.
You guys are gonna love Sparkwind Chronicles. It's so much fun. We can't wait to show it to you guys, and we hope that you join us along the way for all of our adventures.
This is one of the most special stories that we've had the opportunity to tell. And it comes from a lot of vulnerability for us. And I think that you guys are really gonna like this show.
The show is great because it's put together by some of my closest friends and family, and it's really just super special from the way the characters were built to how invested we all have become in them already. You'll see by the end of the first part of the prologue how we all are just in immediately, and I think you will be too.
I'd really love for you to join us on this journey. An adventure is always better with company.